Hello, explorers, and welcome to episode 35 and the first episode of 2024. As always, I'm joined by the lovely Taylor herself.
Hello there.
And Jimmy.
Howdy.
And joining us on this week's episode is a lovely friend of Taylor's. It's Rhea.
Hello.
So, just so the explorers can get to know who Rhea is, then we'll start off with a few questions. If you want to start us off, then Rhea, who you are, where you're from, and what got you into Star Wars.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm Rhea. I'm a pretty big Star Wars nerd. Oh God, all the thoughts just left my head. I'm a member of the 501st Legion here in BC and also Rebel Legion. I have been a member for too many years to count. I have a Stormtrooper costume, and a couple other Imperial ones in the works. And then on the Rebel side, I have an X-Wing pilot and a Jedi, and then also a couple other Rebel costumes in the works as well.
So cool.
Awesome. Yeah. It is super cool dressing up as Star Wars characters. I can vouch for that, obviously being in the 501st this side of the pond, UK. Are you going to Celebration
love to
Japan?
see you two standing beside each other. It'd be like
Stormtroopers
like this.
Yeah, I'm a good half foot shorter than
Aren't you a
all
little
the others.
short for a Stormtrooper?
Yeah, well, Jack's like 7 feet tall, so
there it is.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Rhea, what's your favourite Star Wars film?
Oh, that's hard to answer. I like them all for different reasons.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, A New Hope is, the classic nostalgia.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
I don't think any of us could actually say a favorite one either, so it's like
Yep.
It's an unfair question.
I could.
Jimmy's got a dead favourite.
Oh yeah, we know. Jimmy likes Solo.
If you're going to choose then Jedi or Sith, or even a bounty hunter side of things, what would it be? Jedi, Sith, or bounty hunter?
Like, if it was real?
Yeah, well, it is real. Come on.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Oh. I think I'd have to say Jedi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lightsabers are really cool.
And that leads me nicely into the next question. Then, what got you into Star Wars in the first place?
I've always been a fan as long as I can remember. I have an older brother, which I'm sure helped.
Oh yeah.
I remember him, watching them in the living room, so I would always kind of join, and then just kind of went from there.
He's a good big brother then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your time today. Super appreciate it. Again, just a big shout out. We've got some new explorers joining us on the Gaze Eccentric this month. So big shout out to Arya, Nathan, Dory. We've also got Matt Garvey and a good friend of mine, Andy Mennite. Again, thank you for joining the Facebook page and welcome aboard.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
Okay, so what we're going to go into now then is this week's Force Encounters. So with this week's Force Encounters, as always, we'll start off with myself real quick. So for myself, Christmas present I got this year was from my father-in-law. It turned out he went to a charity shop because he knows I'm a big Star Wars nerd, or he was walking past one, should I say, sorry, and he found me a book for £1 and it was Star Wars Aftermath.
It was $1?
I've literally just got back from holiday. Yeah, literally $1. I've not been able to put it down. I've literally got less than 100 pages going, and I absolutely love it. That book needs to be a movie.
Yeah.
It is amazing. What do you think about that book, Jimmy?
Yeah, that's the group. Every time we talk about like TV shows and things like that, the group that's in that story, because it has such such a strange group of people, and like diverse group, aliens, robots, former ISB agents, and I just think that would be a fun show to watch that crew chasing down Imperial's remnants, after the war. So I think that if they wanted to. I know they had some issues with Chuck Wendig after he wrote it because it kind of got some backlash. But I think that, like we were talking, the bones are really there. It's a really good story. And I would love to see that group get like a TV show and just kind of.
Oh, mate.
It's
it's the nods as well to Return of the Jedi. There's things going on, obviously, that you're not aware of during the film, but there's things like the bounty hunter in the trees, seeing certain people. I don't want to give too much away for those that haven't read it yet.
I haven't read it yet, but like
it is fantastic.
I've only heard good things about it. I haven't read Aftermath. I have it literally on the shelf behind me. I got it for Christmas like 2 years ago. But at the same time that Aftermath came out, Lost Stars came out, and I went for Lost Stars. So I didn't go for the Aftermath.
If there's a film out that I could put that's similar to Aftermath and at the top of my head, it'd probably be Rogue One. It's like a Rogue One version book sort of thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Ray? Have you read Aftermath before?
I haven't yet. I have a never-ending list of things I want to read. It's on there.
Nice. And the last thing is, my daughter started a YouTube channel, and this morning she did her first short, and she's got almost 1,000 views.
What?
I don't know how to take that. I don't know if to congratulate her or delete her channel.
Tessa, we need your followers.
She's already said she's going to make some shorts for us, so my 8-year-old's going to be employed on the show at some point.
There you go.
Ask her for some
tips.
What
about you, Jimmy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, this is the first week back to school, and it's like I get a lot of my classes are the same kids, but I have some freshman courses that flip over. So they walk in and they see my Star Wars collection in the classroom, and their eyeballs about pop out of their heads. I had a couple freshman boys who I thought were going to pass out from shock. And then they're asking me all these questions, and I'm just like, I feel like they think I was like a poser or something, like because I'm like, I just buy the stuff, I don't know about it. And they're asking me questions, and I was just like countering them. So that was pretty fun. I think I'll enjoy them, having them in class. And then we got some good news. Don't want to give too much away, but on May the 4th, we're having a special event. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to go in and try to solidify things on Wednesday, and then we'll report back to everybody. And but yeah, I'm really excited for that. The possibility of it happening. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, so I'm real excited for that.
Wish us some luck.
Awesome. What about you, Taylor?
I watched Paul the other night.
My dad loves that movie.
It's so good. I've watched it actually like so many times, and I always forget how much Star Wars stuff is in it. Like,
what's the Hot Fuzz guys, isn't it? They love Star Wars.
Yeah. It's like Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Seth Rogen, and it's like a smoking, swearing alien who's just very like, I don't know, easygoing and cool, and he's like bringing birds back to life and then eating them, and there's Kirsten Wiig is in it, and she's just like swearing like nobody's business. But I also watched like the non-theatrical version. But like they start up going to a Comic-Con, and there's just like so many Star Wars mentions and sayings, and they get so many pictures of like all the Princess Leia, like slave Leias with them, and it's so funny. And I can completely connect with that movie, besides the fact of never actually meeting a real alien. But it was hilarious. It's so good. If you haven't actually seen it and you love Star Wars, definitely watch that movie, not when your kids are awake.
Nice. What about you, Maria? You got any encounters?
Nothing super recently, but I do want to mention that I did finally get to hold, it's like my favorite thing in the world, the Hot Toys Grogu.
Nice.
The life size.
Oh, yeah.
I got my photo taken while I was holding it, and it made my year. It was so cute.
Speechless. Awesome.
Nice. Okay, so that's the Force Encounters for this week then. Let's head over to this week's news from Batu. Okay, so the first bit of news coming out is Star Wars Outlaws. Disney Parks blog posted recently that Star Wars Outlaws, the open world video game starring Kay Vess and Nyx, which was set to release in late 2024. That information has been deleted, and now the statement says 2024 again. The last thing I checked on that it is getting released in 2024. However, it's going to be quite late potentially. But we'll see what's going on with that. Is that going to be a good thing or a bad thing? What do we think on that? Start with you, Taylor.
Well, it's kind of like the same. Like I can't even say this, but it's like the same as Jedi Survivor. You guys said it was so great, and it was delayed, but it was delayed for a good reason, and they did finish it, right? Like there wasn't a whole bunch of glitches in it, like the first one that released. So honestly, if it's going to mean a better game for us, then yeah, put it off. Just don't put it off like 2 years.
Yeah.
And like obviously they're taking the information down because they're like, oh my god, we don't even know if it's going to be done. So like take it down. It's like wait, put it back up. They're going to freak out if we take it off. So
yeah, it's crazy that they're putting it. That it's going to be late 2024. Then it's removed. Then it's back up again. Is it going to be 2024 in the first place? What about you, Ray? Do you play video games?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way that Taylor does. Like, if it's delayed for a good reason, then hopefully that'll mean a better, more complete, less buggy game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing worse than a buggy game. Starfield, for me, is quite buggy when it was first released on PC. Cyberpunk being an absolute nightmare. So, yeah, I'm definitely with you guys and girls. Make sure it's delayed, do it properly, do it correctly, because at the minute, what's being shown, released and talked about, it's gearing up to be a very, very good game. What about you, Jimmy? What do you think?
Super excited for it.
It's curious that they took the late off of there. You know, we had heard 2024. I don't know why I was assuming like May the 4th. Like everything seems like it kind of comes out May the 4th or whatever. But them taking the late off of it, I'm not sure like why. If it comes out early, then that like, hey, they're the heroes. If it doesn't now, they're going to be like, I know I was pretty, I mean, I know the same thing. I want a game to be flawless and I want it to be great and stuff like that. But I have to do my job. I'll get fired as a teacher if I don't do my job. But, you know, I can't postpone my teaching for 2 months. So it's a little frustrating sometimes. But I guess that's the tech world. It's not the normal world that we live in. So I just want to play the game. It looks great. It looks very different, and everything I've read, and there's some stuff, I know I sent you guys a link last week of this article. I'm talking about it. The game looks phenomenal.
Looks great.
Huge. I'm really looking forward to it. So, but yeah, whatever. As long as we get in 2024, get some content. We need something. Like we need a release date. We need something from, you know, obviously we're going to talk about a few things coming out in 2024 later on, but something needs to be handed to us like, hey, this is this is the date for this, so people can start getting ready for it. We did get some more Star Wars news. The John Wick director Chad Stahelski was recently on the Josh Horowitz podcast Happy Sad Confused and talked about the John Wick franchise, of course, and what other films he would like to work on. The answer may surprise you, but probably not, given this is a Star Wars podcast. Stahelski said, I'm a Star Wars guy. The first Star Wars changed my life. Maybe someday out there, Disney, if you're listening, hit me up. Hit me in a couple of years. I have a couple of takes for Star Wars. And Horowitz reply, do you have an idea or two? And Stahelski says, I do. Yeah, I'd take a swing at that. I think that's the guy they should have pegged for a Boba Fett movie. Imagine Boba Fett, John Wick style. I mean, obviously Disney is never going to allow, like, you know, the chaos that is John Wick. But if you think about a bounty hunter movie in the style of John Wick, or just some of those action scenes, like, oh my,
that would be amazing.
Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so good. I mean, just
that'd be class.
That would be nuts. I hope
watching him go through Jabba's palace,
just tearing things up, doing something like who knows, just
all the action,
just going crazy. But what do you guys? Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys are all in agreement with all like that. So
I just think that we need to have people creating Star Wars content that loves Star Wars. You know, like if we have people who have always been in this fandom, in our like geekdom world, like Deborah Chow, she directed the Obi-Wan series, and she's a huge Star Wars fan, and I thought it was great. I mean, not to say that like Andor wasn't great, because the director of Andor and Rogue One wasn't really a Star Wars fan. So he kind of just kind of wrote his own. Yes, Tony Gilroy. So he wasn't a super Star Wars fan, but he still made a really great film, and he's working on these great TV shows, right? But I don't know. You can feel when people have a love and a passion for something, and they put it into their work. So that's what I want.
I think though now is the generation people are coming through that if you put 100 directors into a room, a lot of them would have some influence from Star Wars growing up. And
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it's like football or soccer or whatever you want to call it. As soon as you mention a certain brand, it's money. You know, hit me up. I'll make a Star Wars film. I've got no film experience. You know,
Yeah.
the books is going to come rolling in. So
yeah,
but you know what? A lot of
like. Sorry to cut you off. I know a lot of film schools teach, like they literally study Star Wars films, like in their programs. So yeah, I feel like every person who's involved in any kind of film does have a connection to it because it was such a groundbreaking industry, right?
Yeah.
What
about you, Rhea?
Yeah, I agree.
Happy days.
Nothing to add.
Next up, we have Whip Media. As reported by The Wrap, Whip Media assessed the performances of the 30 best performing series using their TV Time app, which measures the viewership of the American audience members. From there, they were able to measure the shows with the greatest share of viewership from January 2023 to November 2023. There are conflicting reports coming from Netflix, but they have only shown the research for about 6 months. The following shows were their top 10, coming from Disney+, Netflix, Hulu, and Apple TV. Number 1, obviously, is going to be The Mandalorian. Number 2 is Loki. I heard that was really, really great. I only actually watched the first series. I didn't watch the second season yet. I know it's out. 3 is Ted Lasso. 4 is You. I actually don't know what that is.
That's a scary stalker boy.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of freaky. I didn't really enjoy it.
I probably wouldn't like it then. Number 5, Only Murders in the Building. I saw that one being advertised a whole bunch, but I did not watch it. Sorry. 6 is Black Mirror. 7 is Secret Invasion, which is also Marvel, right?
Yep.
8, The Bear. 9, Ahsoka. And number 10, The Witcher. I feel like Ahsoka should be farther up the ladder along with The Witcher. Yeah, The Witcher should be up there
both
more.
Both of them suffered from the writer strikes, though, I think.
Oh, right.
There's no publicity out there. There's no one pushing it. The Witcher had some negative publicity because Henry Cavill said, basically told him to take a leap because he was they weren't sticking with the narrative, which I want Henry Cavill to make a Star Wars movie. That guy's like the king of the nerds. But,
he's like super nerd.
But yeah, so it'll be done right. But yeah, so so I think some of those things kind of hurt because there wasn't time for them, and some of that stuff came out a little bit earlier before the writer strike stuff, and we're able to be pushed a little bit more. So I do think that had some influence over it. But
yeah, I'm surprised that Secret Invasion came above Ahsoka.
Yeah, it didn't. I haven't watched a lot of these new Marvel things, which I always thought I would, but they hasn't been stellar. So
no. After Endgame, I just can't get back into Marvel anymore. I don't know. Captain America was like my, imaginary boyfriend.
Was the Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man 1 was the last film I watched.
Oh, right. Yeah, I did watch the Spider-Mans. I do love some Tom Holland. Oh, man, I can't even say my own name. Holland.
That's a problem.
It's been a long week.
All right, so our next topic, I'm almost pained to get into this, but we got to cover it. All right, so Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, who's directing the new Rey film, she told CNN reporter Christy Lou Stout, this is like on New Year's in Pakistan, I believe, I'm very thrilled about the project because I feel what we're about to create is something very special. I wish she had stopped there. And we're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in the galaxy far, far away. And of course, people out there are going to be losing their minds over this. And I will say this, and I will defend her a little bit, because most people are reporting this story, and they're also showing this video of her from 2015. And I believe this was one of her documentaries, because she has an agenda, but and she does it in her films and her documentaries. Like, she has every right to do that. Like, that's what's gotten her to the point where didn't she direct the Marvels? Isn't she the one who directed the Marvels?
Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
The video of her saying how she likes making men feel uncomfortable in 2015 panel about her documentary about how the treatment of Muslim women. In that context, that's perfectly fine. Like, she should, I don't want to get too political here, but women in that country or in that area, they're not treated very well. I know we're not a political, but yeah, she has every right to make people feel uncomfortable and point out some of the injustices. But tying that comment, her comment from New Year's, and that video is just like clickbait. And it's kind of frustrating. Now that I've defended her, though, I want to ask her these questions, okay? What about Kathleen Kennedy and her team of over 50% women that work on Star Wars?
Yes.
Deborah Chow, multiple episodes of Mando, all of Kenobi. Bryce Dallas Howard, multiple episodes of Mando. Marshall Lucas. Without Marshall Lucas, we probably don't have a podcast, because Star Wars stunk in 1977 and no one went to watch it.
Oh my gosh, you took exactly what I was going to say.
Leslie Headland, producing and directing The Acolyte. Now, that's had some drama around it. And then, of course, this is kind of bums me out, though. I never heard of this woman before. Leah Brackett. And it says in the article I read, it says Brackett isn't a household name in Star Wars circles today because she died of cancer in March of 1978, only weeks after she had turned in the very first draft of the script for Empire Strikes Back. She was well known in the science fiction community. She wrote a bunch of things. She has like these pulpy space operas, planetary romance novels, and short stories. And the only thing I think, it's a shame that we don't know who she is until this point. Like, because I would call them fanboys and trolls are trying to bash Charmin, but they're coming at it from a different angle. The only positive thing I see is I didn't know who Leah Brackett was. Now I'm kind of curious, and I'm going to dive into her a little bit more.
Yeah,
she passed away, and then of course Lawrence Kasdan, and I can't remember who the other guy was, came in and kind of like finished up Empire. But how do you guys feel about her saying this? Like, is she doing it to fire people up? Was this a comment, you're going to be asked these questions. Like, most of the time people come on shows or go on things like this, they already know what they're going to be asked.
Yeah.
Is she saying this to stir up publicity? Is this how she is? Are you nervous about this? Like, I don't know how to feel. I'm a little, I know, I've been watching a lot of videos and listening to a lot of people, and people are all over the map on how they feel about this. So I'm trying to take the positive side and say, well, now I know who Leah Brackett is, because people are like bringing all these women out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And it's a sensitive subject with, women in Star Wars. We just had Star Wars Theory say some stuff about women in Star Wars. And of course, Rebel Force Radio got themselves in trouble a few years ago, saying things about, Star
We've
Wars
said it for
women,
ages about how much Star Wars now has been putting women more and more on the forefront, and it's always been there. Princess Leia is the head of it all, regardless of what anyone says. Carrie Fisher,
the strongest female character in movie history, right?
Always been there, and I think the whole comments and stuff like that, what she said, I think not so much of a slip of the tongue. Obviously, I think it's easy to twist someone's comments and stuff like that, but I think it's a failing on behalf of her media team, because obviously they would have known what questions that she was going to get.
Yeah.
I think she sort of got caught out. Maybe, like I said, her mind's racing or whatever. But again, like you said correctly, her origin, I don't know what she's been through, but the place where she's come from, women out there don't get treated. Yeah, they don't get treated correctly. They don't get treated right. So she's got a voice. Why not? And one of my favourite females in Star Wars currently is Bryce Dallas Howard. She is amazing. The stuff that she's done, like top level stuff. And let's not forget, it's just literally escaped my mind now. But if you watch the documentary on Star Wars on Disney, George Lucas's wife saves Star Wars because she edits a certain bit. And I can't remember which bit it was exactly.
Well, she edits the whole thing. She edits A New Hope for free.
The people out there that are saying like, Star Wars doesn't need females, etc. Star Wars needs a woman's touch, regardless. Just like anything in life.
Yeah. No, I actually looked into it too because I saw this, and the first thing my husband said was like, "What do you think of that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? We've got like Mon Mothma, we've got Leia, we've got Ahsoka." And then I looked into it because I do remember seeing that George's wife helped him on the trilogy, like the original trilogy. And like I wrote down some notes, and like the good luck kiss between Luke and Leia was actually Marcia's like idea. Like, no, keep that. It's kind of funny. And then the scene where Chewbacca roars down at the mouse droid, and then it's like, and then it goes back and takes off. That was Marcia's idea. So George wanted to get rid of it because he thought it was stupid. And Marcia was actually responsible for the Battle of Yavin, where the rebel pilots destroy the Death Star. And that's like one of the best scenes, right? So if without her, Star Wars wouldn't be the way it is because it needed a woman's touch. Like, I don't understand. Like, we're not changing things up. This isn't the first time women. This is not the first time women have been in Star Wars, And as we, we're saying, obviously her marketing team let her down because you're right. They had to know what questions they were going to ask. We always, when we interview someone, we always let them know what we're going to ask them so that they have the best answers possible because we don't want to catch anyone off guard. And I feel like, Charmine, like she doesn't know the impact that her words were going to have on the Star Wars community. Like,
she has to be aware of the insanity that is the Star Wars fandom.
Yeah, like, does she even know the Star Wars community, like, enough? Like, I feel like we already have this little bit of a, divergence in the fans. And we're trying so hard to, like, bring everybody back together, and then just...
That would never happen, though.
And you know what? It will never happen because there is, as we always say, there is a Star Wars for everyone. There is video games. There's Star Wars Lego. There's the films. There's books. There's like crazy Legends books, cosplay.
As well, I think that, again, like I say, Kathleen Kennedy, but it could be anyone at Disney.
Yes.
Their masterstroke is to have Daisy Ridley next to her to keep her on the straight and narrow to extent, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because if anyone knows the community at current, the most up-to-date person would be Daisy Ridley.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rhea?
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like maybe she was referring specifically to like a female director for a Star Wars movie. Because, like, it's not the first necessarily female director or, higher up involved in Star Wars. But I guess, I don't know.
Trying to buddy up with Kathy Kennedy.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's a strange one, and I'm sure there'll be lots more to come out of that news segment. And I think, does that pretty much tie everything up, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think so. Let us know, though, in the comments, whatever. How do you guys think? And, is Ray right? Is she just talking specifically about being, the first female movie director, which that's fine then if she is. Like, that's perfectly fine. I know, and again, a lot of this clickbait stuff, people trying to stir things up, they're attaching a 2015 or 2019 comment that has nothing to do with Star Wars to this just to upset everybody. What do you guys think out there? So, but a little bit of controversy. I don't think it's what Star Wars needs right now.
No.
So, but so that's the news from Bat 2 this week.
Okay, so now Christmas is out the way. Obviously, we had lots of Christmas gifts, pictures sent in from the explorers. People like Anthony Goodman had an awesome, like a Star Wars clock, same as Jake Crafton. We've had socks. We've had Star Wars whiskers. Is it whiskers you call them over there, Canada, Taylor? Is it whiskers?
Oh, yeah, it was a whisk. Well,
that's it, a whisk.
Yeah.
A whisk, sorry.
Taco whisks.
That's the one. Yeah, we've had books sent on the group as well. Starbird Files that comes on the show. He's currently going to do like a daily journal, which I think is a fantastic idea. It looks like he's got 2 books from Star Wars Rebels. So yeah, lots of Star Wars goodness sent out over Christmas. It's been fantastic to see some of that. Now, as we obviously push forward into 2024, we've got a number of things that we're super looking forward to. No prizes guessing what mine's going to be, Acolyte. But first off, first thing we're going to cover is going to be Star Wars Outlaws. And I know Jimmy's a big gamer, so if you want to start us off on this, Jimmy, Star Wars Outlaws, go for it.
Yeah, so obviously we've been pretty excited about this this game once it was the first trailer was released. We started getting information for it. I like the idea of getting a new game every year, like we've kind of been promised. It sounds like they're trying to, because we have this and then Eclipse. We actually got a trailer for a trailer before a few months before, maybe even a year before, possibly coming out the following year. But this game looks pretty awesome. You got, you get to be an outlaw. You're gonna sit there and you're in between, was it Empire and Return of the Jedi time period. You're gonna be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. There's supposedly 5 planets that have been that we know of. And the maps are supposed to be really, really large. There's going to be lots of things. Your choices are going. There's nothing. It has been nothing like this in Star Wars yet. No. All right, this open world, your decisions help drive the story one way or the other. Nyx, that little creature, I don't know what kind of creature it is, but that looks awesome to have that gameplay where you can use that little critter to help you out. And just I don't know, I really love the looks of this game. They have a bunch of stuff. If you go on to Ubisoft's website, they have a bunch of little short videos and things like that talking about the different places on Earth that they've used to design planets. And everything I've seen so far makes me think this game is going to knock it out of the park, and I'm probably going to have to take a day or 2 off of work just to get started.
Is it going to be only PlayStation 5 again?
And I do believe it's next generation consoles, PS5, all that stuff. So,
but I just something else to add to my why I have to have the PS5.
Don't have that information in front of me, but if I recall from the articles that I've read, it is a next gen.
Yeah, it's next gen.
So, unfortunately, but so I'm pretty excited for that. I wouldn't say that that's my number one. Maybe it is. I'm not going to tell you till the end. But so I'm pretty pumped for that that game. So, Ray, what have you thought of like the trailers and things like that you've seen of Outlaws? Are you ready to play it?
I am so excited to play it. Any excuse to buy another Star Wars game. Like, I love it.
Very cool.
Yeah, right. And like her little like friend is not actually a droid for the first time ever.
Yeah. I love droids, but
it's just a little bit different because there's got to be like a quadrillion different like beasts and creatures on different planets.
She has like an assassin droid, I believe, that wears a trench coat.
Yeah, of course. A trench coat. Never trust a guy in a trench coat.
Commando droid. Sorry.
Going off what Rhea said there, I'm pretty sure I said when it first got announced that it's refreshing that the psychic's a living being rather than a droid.
Yeah.
I love droids, but to have a living being as a companion now, it's so much better. I think personally.
It's something different too, so that's exciting.
I get a lot of Skyrim vibes from this as well. I like the fact that you can just go off and explore. So if you see a ship landing, you just make your way over there and see why it's landing, etc.
That's so fun.
I'm hoping it's got Knights of the Old Republic theme where you can sort of go like good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like your actions.
Yeah, in the article where you could like you build up you build up your reputation. You can go and you can do things to upset the Hutt cartel. There's another I can't think of the name of the cartels. There's 2 that we know, the Hutt cartel, and I believe that the Pikes are a part of it. And there's new one. There's a new one made for the game.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get to see planets from
Mustafar on there as well, I think.
Yeah, some different places and things like that. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think this is going to be pretty cool.
Can't wait.
The lore a little bit more.
Next up, we've got Bad Batch Season 3. Again, something else I'm super hyped for. Really loved Bad Batch. I'm excited to see where it goes, even though I know sort of where it goes, because then I'm sort of expecting, do I know where it goes? But yeah, what about you, Taylor? What do you think about Bad Batch season 3?
I think we're finally going to get like some answers as where everyone goes, right? It's like where are they in the future? You know, like it's like I don't know. It's going to be good. I just hope they don't release it at the same time as like a live action show again, because
I don't think they will.
Obviously, I'm going to watch the live action first, and then by then I've already lost the attention of my husband. So it's like, well, I can't watch it alone. So, yeah.
Spread it out. Hopefully they spread it out.
Better release. Yeah, better release. Spread it out a little bit.
And hopefully they don't all land on the same planet as Sabine and Ahsoka. But hey, who knows?
Yeah, the whole crew's there.
Like, oh yeah, we're actually in galaxy adjacent, far, far away. Like
we're
what do you
really
think about
away.
What do you think about Bad Batch there?
I really enjoyed Bad Batch. I'm so excited for season 3. Yeah, I love those Bad Batch.
Quality. I absolutely love it. Jimmy?
Yeah, we talked about when we reviewed stuff. I preferred Bad Batch season 2 to Mando season 3. Thought it had more stakes. I thought the stories were better. I thought it flowed better. I felt more connected to the animated characters in that. I remember, I'm not going to ruin anything for anybody, but there was a moment where I may or may not have shed a tear, and I remember just like what the beep, like no way. I'm hoping that stays the way they left it. There needs to be some stakes in Star Wars, but I loved it. I wasn't really looking forward to it, if I'm being honest. I thought season 1 was fine. It was cool to see Cad Bane and all that, and you got some stuff, and what's his name? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the sharpshooter's name?
Jura Singh.
No, the one of the clones.
Yeah, what's his freaking name?
Crosshair. That's it. Thank you. You're all sitting right behind me. I should have just turned around. Crosshair goes bad. And of course, we've got to get some redemption. But if they do redeem him, it's kind of earned though because of the story.
Yeah.
He's watched what the Empire is doing. He's seeing it. He's not just flipping a switch because it's the right thing to do. Or it is the right thing to do, and he's gone through stuff. Had the experience a little bit differently. So I'm really looking forward to Bad Batch season 3. I really hope that it ends in a way that is final. Maybe Omega's still out there somewhere. I do have a feeling that the Bad Batch is not going to be around. So, but that's just me.
Who knows? Next then, probably the biggest thing for me, the Acolyte. Big rumours, apparently Trinity from the Matrix is coming over. Yes, the Acolyte, an absolute Jedi fest. What more can I say? When I seen that trailer next to Jimmy, I was going berserk in London.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
And then I'm sitting over here in BC, and they're both texting me like, "It's amazing!" I'm like, "Send it to me!" Oh, we can't. There's someone
Jedi
watching me with a
ninjas.
camera.
The biggest thing I'm really looking forward to, though, for this, obviously you've got all the Jedis, you've got loads of stuff happening, is we're going to see this from the aspect or the view of a Sith. It's not going to be as glorified Jedi as everything else seems to be at the minute. So a lot of it's probably going to make sense.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for this. So the Acolyte is, we think, right, is going to be like the ending, like the finale of the High Republic book reading series. So I hope everybody is getting into the High Republic shirt. But I'm so excited for this. We've seen a couple of characters that we might know. We've seen some behind the scene photos of some Wookiees with some dangly thing. Like, oh my gosh. I can't even talk about it because I'm just really, really excited. That's my,
What about you, Jimmy? What do you think?
Well, having got to see that trailer, I can't wait. Like, we knew Carrie Ann Moss was in this. I mean, she's a Jedi. That scene they show of her, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but she doesn't even pull out a lightsaber. She doesn't need to. I mean, it's kind of like she's in the Matrix. Like the moves that she's doing. I want to see that fight play out. And that's what was in store for us.
Mm-hmm.
We got. I mean, that's like a 10-second clip, and I was like, I'm in. Like that was enough for me. And then the very ending of that, we'll just say that's probably the most lightsabers I've ever seen in a show or a movie at one time. Is all I'm going to say. So, I am super pumped for it. We need some information. I think maybe they're waiting for the Super Bowl, drop it at the Super Bowl. You know, it is like the most watched event, and that makes sense. They've done it before, so
they'll play at the Super Bowl, mate. When the Detroit
Lions the Steelers and the Lions are playing in the Super Bowl. The Steelers are winning the Super Bowl, and Jack's crying because he chose poorly.
Brilliant. What about you, Rhea? Are you into the Acolyte?
Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't, no, but I mean, any like Force users, yes, I love anything with lightsabers.
This will blow your mind. That's just the trailer as well.
Do you read the High Republic? Have you read the High Republic? Any of that? Or
I haven't yet. It's on my list. It all looks amazing. I don't know where to start.
It's
a big time commitment.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. I get that. So, but yeah, there's a few characters coming over from that we know of. I wish I didn't know that going into Phase 3 because I'm one of my favorite characters, and I know well, there's no way she's still around. I wish that was kind of a bummer to find that out. I don't think they needed to tell us that.
Yeah,
if it comes out this season, anyways, what's the matter with? I guess
I reckon we'll see Yoda in it as well.
Oh yeah,
Yoda, oh my gosh, really?
Yaddle will still be around. Like there's some characters
that
show up. Yeah, be cool to see Yaddle a little bit more.
No, he didn't.
That'll be in there.
Yeah.
Next up, then, what I think is going to be a massive flop, but I might end up eating my words. Is going to be
the show.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Skeleton Crew.
Jack is going to be the #1 fan of Skeleton Crew after it comes out. He's going to be Skeleton Crew man.
Watch him. Be like, I was liking it the whole
time.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Skeleton Crew. I'll let you take the lead with this one, Taylor. What do you reckon?
I think that they're seriously missing out on all of the advertising that they could be doing for it right now. Because the filming for it is already done, right?
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's all done.
Why aren't we getting more information? Why aren't we seeing more Jude Law being Jude Law? Like, come on. Like, I don't know. There's so many rumors, it's kids lost in space. The kids are all super cute, right? But I saw them we saw them at Celebration on stage like a year ago, and kids at that age grow really fast, so they better not have to do any reshoots or anything like that. But you know what I mean? Going back, so. But I don't know. People think that Skeleton Crew is going to link up with Ahsoka, but I don't know.
What do you think, Rhea?
I haven't really seen much about Skeleton Crew. Is there even a teaser?
Exactly.
There's hardly anything.
I would like to know about it, but they haven't really shown anything.
Mostly what we've gotten is Jude Law may or may not be a former Jedi, survivor of Order 66. We don't know though, but it's supposedly with I haven't seen the teaser trailer, so supposedly that might tell you. But he's like these kids' teacher. They're going to get lost. It's going to connect a little bit with some of the pirates that were in Mando season 3, and then now it's being connected. Now these are obviously all rumors, but these are being connected to possibly how Ahsoka and Sabine get back. I mean, that could be so far out there. I mean, I think of the Marok theories. That it ended up just being a bag of wind. But so it's kind of like they're calling it the Amblin. So it's kind of like on the idea of like Goonies and E.T., where it's these young kids having an adventure. They're going to be running things. So that's kind of where Skeleton Crew is. But yeah, you would have to. It's not something that is getting, at all. I mean, people don't even know about it. Jack doesn't think it's going to actually happen, but it is.
I don't know. There's just something in my head. I don't know.
I feel like there's not going to be any lightsabers in Skeleton Crew. I think it's going to be a story without it. They're going to just be kids lost in space and the elements out there.
It's just ducking and dodging blasters, and I'm like, oh, please.
Hopefully they run better than Little Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Well, I think I heard somewhere that Jude Law is actually a Santeca.
Ooh.
So, which could be cool, right? Because we actually find out more about the Sentekas and where they come from in the High Republic era. So it's like they are trying to connect everything around, and then we have like Lore Senteca in the Force Awakens. So
nice,
it rhymes.
Shadow of the Sith.
Interesting. And the last thing then we're going to cover quickly is going to be Tales of the Jedi Season 2. I think that was one of the big standout hits because not a lot of people expected what we got and the quality of what we got.
It was so good.
It was absolutely fantastic. We'll start with you this time, Rhea. What do you think of Tales of the Jedi?
I haven't seen all of it, but what I have seen, I loved. I loved that, just the variety of different stories that we get. Just let more people do Star Wars.
Yeah.
And like people that love Star Wars, let them make a Star Wars.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It just makes great Star Wars.
Yeah, that's one of the big standout things was all the different types of culture and different Star Wars visions people had as well. Totally agree with you on that. Jimmy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I loved it. I don't necessarily. I mean, obviously, we know I've got a big crush on Ahsoka or whatever, but I really love the Dooku stuff. Like,
yes,
I wasn't expecting that. I was pumped. Ahsoka. I thought it was fine. Some connections to Clone Wars season 7 finale or whatever. But the Dooku stuff, man, like I love it when they earn. Dooku's not just a guy in the movie. Like you go back and you rewatch the Attack of the Clones. When you see Dooku, talking to Obi-Wan, this guy has earned it. He's hurting. When he talks about Obi-Wan, like he really means it. Like he's not, he's conflicted. And so I thought that those stories and seeing, just each one kind of pushing. And of course, we got a little bit of Qui-Gon in there, just showing right off the bat how great of a Jedi Qui-Gon was going to be. So I thought that I can't wait. I'm curious as to who they're going to pick, because like no one seems to know anything about it. We know it's just been kind of it was on the production sheets or release sheets for this year. But nobody seems to know anything. What characters are going to be involved? Is it going to be just Jedi? Is it going to be Sith? Are they going to do a Tales of the Sith kind of thing? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I wish we had. I wish we were getting Tales of the Sith.
I think that's like tiny.
They got to make more Sith canon though first. Don't you think they got to make more Sith canon before they can do a tale? Because right now, I mean, you don't have a large number of Sith lords
that's the issue.
You can really do a ton about. You could do some cool stuff with like Palpatine. You could take some stuff from the Plagueis novel, whatever you wanted. It'd be a good way to introduce it.
Well, this is the thing.
See how it goes.
You've got the Order 66 and then the Jedi surviving. So what about the Sith or the Inquisitors that have survived the Battle of Endor?
Yeah. Maybe something happens at the end of Acolyte too. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a multiple seasons, but maybe something they go back into hiding or something like that. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
So possibly.
Awesome. So we'll wrap this up then. We'll start with you, Taylor, then we'll come to you here, then myself, and then we'll finish with Jimmy then. So out of 2024, what's the thing that you're looking forward to the most? Go for it, Taylor.
Well, I already gave it away, but I am so looking forward to the Acolyte that it's not even funny. I'm like pretty much like all caught up on the High Republic, and I'm even like rereading all of the Phase 1 again. So just because I'm loving it so much. So it's gonna be the Acolyte for me, and it better not get pushed to 2025 or I'm gonna start throwing some rocks. I don't know.
Rhea, what about you?
What I'm looking forward to the most is actually an event.
Nice.
Fan Expo Vancouver.
Yeah.
Next month already.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Go for it. Promote it. What are you going as? Where can they find you?
Well, I'm mostly going to be helping out with our 501st Rebel Legion BC Club's booth. So I will be probably mostly my Jedi There's a couple costumes I'm trying to throw together in time, but they might not arrive, so I won't spoil them in case it doesn't work out. But yeah, I'll just be hanging around that booth most of the weekend.
Nice.
Quick question though. When you do like your Jedi for was it Rebel Legion, is it specific to like a character, or is it just things you have to do? So like what's your Jedi's name?
Well, it's Rhea, just spelled slightly differently. It's just a generic Jedi.
Okay.
I kind of took inspo from. It's kind of supposed to be like Endor kind of inspired. It's like earth tones.
Yeah, there's green. It's really nice. I love it.
That's the beauty of Rebel Legion stuff.
If you got photos, send them so we can post them on the socials of you. That's great.
Yeah, I'll have quite a few photos because I was kind of going hard all December. I got it approved in sometime in November, and then every event I could sign up for, I went as a Jedi. It's so comfortable. It's so fun. I get to have a glow stick.
That's the biggest thing. It's the comfort. If you've never worn TK armor, you don't know uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't miss the
pain.
armor bites and the not being able to see or
climbing
sit
stairs.
or do stairs.
There you go. The stairs is a big issue in armor. Trust me.
Yeah, right.
What about you, Jimmy? What are you looking forward to the most?
Oh man. God, the Acolyte. I want to say Skeleton Crew just to make you mad, Jack, but
you did this to me.
I am gonna have to say, oh gosh, I'm gonna say Star Wars Outlaws just because I think it's gonna be the most amount of time in something Star Wars we're gonna get this season. It's gonna be immersive. I'm really excited for that. Hopefully, there'll be some new things that we learn. But I'd have to say like Bad Batch and Acolyte are close right behind it, like just nipping at its heels because I want to see how things turn out there, and of course Acolyte, I just want to see more of what we saw at Celebration. So I'll give it to Star Wars Outlaws just because I mean I'm not a huge gamer, I'm a huge Star Wars gamer. I think this is going to be a pretty unique, pretty fun game, and I do hope that it spurs some other ideas, different stories, just other companies now that they've given their license to other people, that we start to consistently one a year is fine. Right. One a year. I hope this jump starts that, kind of like what Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order have done.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. And obviously mine, Acolyte, goes without saying. Don't even need to go into it. If you was with me at Celebration, absolutely not. If you was with me at Celebration, you'd have seen my outburst. Let's just leave it at that. Again, just like to thank you, Rhea, for joining us today. Hopefully you come on again.
Thank you for inviting me and having me on.
Not a problem. Make sure you get loads of photos sent to us. We'll whack them all over our socials. Again, feel free to post whatever you want. And again, just to the explorers, let us know your thoughts and comments at Explore the Force on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Don't think I've missed any platforms there. No, I think we're good this week. Let us know what you're looking forward to the most. If it's something that we haven't mentioned, again, just whack the comments in. And as always, let us know your thoughts. So, as always then, from Taylor.
For light and life.
And from me. The dark side is honest. The dark side is direct. It is the knife in the front rather than the one stuck in your back. And from Jimmy.
We have spoken.
Awesome. Looking forward to hear your comments.
What about Rhea? Let's hear Rhea.
Oh, go on then, Rhea. What have you got?
We are what they grow beyond.
Nice. Very nice.
That's a good one.
Nice.
That's a very good one.
Yes.
All right.
Like it. Nice. Always. Thank you very much again, Rhea. Again, please leave some comments. Let us know. And look forward to hearing and seeing all of you next week. So from all of us, goodbye.
All right. See you, everybody.